we usually start with refuge, which is on page, for me, page 10. So again, so many people have aversion towards these things because it looks like prayers, and then, if you're totally non-religious, not because you just don't have a religion, but because you are criticizing religion and you found it totally useless, because you look at all these people who don't practice it, but you think they should be practicing. Then of course, it doesn't become a help. It's more of agents, but these recitations. But when we look, it's just everything that is, it's another thing that is on offer for us to help our practice. To really, by taking refuge, by just being aware why we're sitting here, why we're doing this. I mean, again, this is for page 10. Again, this is for Buddhists. Yeah. Now, you have to look for yourself when you start an activity. Do you have a motivation? Do you know why you're doing this? Do you generate that mind of kind of focusing it and then going in that direction? So again, saying, I go for refuge until enlightened, blah, 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 it can be just lip service and nothing happens in your mind. And it's just, especially also when it's getting Tibetan, example, you don't know what you say, it still has an effect on your mind because you say these words in Tibetan, I'm not sure, but definitely in your own language. So this is how orientation works. By feeding the mind something, and then slowly it starts to change. So it says very clearly, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the accumulation of merits of practicing generosity and so forth, may I become Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. So it's very clear when you say this before your meditation, it is very clear why you sit down and you meditate. It's not to feel good in your meditation. Whether you feel good or not, it doesn't matter. What you practice in your, I think what the meditation is practiced the most in the West is either what they call vipassana or shamatha, like calming the mind, isn't it? Being present. I mean, this is what is when we talk about meditation, this is what they think, that's it. Yeah, it's one part of meditation, it's one method of meditation. So then when you do that, and you do it with an attitude of, but I have to feel good in my meditation, and you think you don't have this attitude, but you have it. Because when your mind is all over the place and your body all of a sudden is full of pain, and it's very difficult to concentrate, and you lose your object all the time, aren't you thinking, oh my gosh, what is happening? This is a really bad meditation. Are you not thinking like this? Yes or no? Yeah. So that means you have an attitude, or you meditate for the purpose of feeling good in your meditation. So then, make sure that you're lying down, make sure you have some flute music playing also, maybe some nice pictures, inspiring quotes or words in your mind, then you will feel good. So if you want that, then you need to have the right methods to attain that. Just sitting and watching your mind, this is not the right method to be happy in the meditation. This is the method to learn the mind to be present, to see what's going on, and then whatever is going on, and to learn not to react. To see what's going on, and to see the immediately attachment or aversion when something good is going on. It's very few. These moments when I develop attachment in my meditation is very, very rare. Yeah, most of the time it's aversion because it's boring, then there's pain, there's noise, there's this, I can't concentrate. So that would be the occasion to see aversion, not to get up, not to do anything, but to go back to your object and just leave it. Just leave the negative emotion. And by seeing, if I'm not going into it, and if I'm not kind of feeding it with thoughts, it is disappears. Not the pain, but the aversion towards it. So this is the technique. This is why we meditate. So whether you have a happy state of mind or an unhappy state of mind, for observing it, it doesn't matter if it's happy or unhappy. Just us, we think it should be happy. Then if you sit and meditate a lot, yes, it can lead to happiness. That is true. I'm not saying you will become more open, you will become more calm, probably also in your daily life. I think everybody who does it over a few years, I'm really talking about years, I'm not talking about just one weekend or not even weeks, over a few years, you feel a change in your life, isn't it? For those who meditate regularly. Yeah, yes or no? Yes. But you still fly off the handle sometimes. You still get depressed sometimes. You still, behave in a way that you don't want to behave, but you're just pushed by what is called shenpa. Yeah, by this energy. It's also called shenpa, intention kind of thing. The energy of the tendency, the energy of the habit is called shenpa, intention. That it just pushes you. You know you shouldn't do it, yet you still do it. You still have that. Yeah. Because the mind transforms very, very slowly. And again, if we look at science, the mind has two memories. I mean, again, I'm just repeating what scientists say. It's from the book Meditation by Mathieu Ricard and Singer. What's his name? Frank or Carl or something. Anyway, he's probably not doing so much anymore. It's his daughter who is taken over. They both psychologists, neuroscientists, psychologists. He and his daughter, and they both study the brain. They work together with Mathieu Ricard, His Holiness, and Buddhism practice and all this. So in there I read, which makes a lot of sense, that the brain has two memories. One is called declarative, and the other one is called productive, or something like that. So the declarative memory, you do something once, it keeps it. And so they didn't explain it like that, but I think it has to do with the senses. When we get hurt, we're not really hurt. If there's not already an addiction or something, we don't do it again. Like if you have a mango, you never seen a mango, yeah? They say there are people who don't know mangoes. Like my dad was one of them, and he bought one, like 50, 60 years ago in Switzerland. It's terribly expensive, about 15 euros or something. And he got so upset. And he said, what a cheat. I mean, come on, I paid so much money, and then half of it is this big stone inside. I'll never buy this again. Nobody would talk here, you get upset about a big stone in a mango here. Why? Because you know it. So anyway, but let's say, or you see a cherry, and you don't know that maybe cherry is a better example. You've never seen cherry. You take it in your mouth, you bite on it, and wow, you do this once, but never again. Or like my dad, who buy a mango, but then never again, because it's cheating. So that's the declarative memory, which once you got it, but then you have this other one, procedural or something like this, it's called, and is it right? Because you're nodding, is it right?
I think I heard it also.
Yeah, okay. So then it becomes more true, people agree. So this one, this is when you learn skills, or when you learn something, and the more concentrated you are, the quicker you learn. The more not concentrated you are, the longer it will take to change habit, to change tendencies, or to create new tendencies and new habits. So that makes a lot of sense, and this is why we train what is called mental quietude, or in German it's called stilles Verweilen, to stay quietly, it's called in German. It's very nice, to stay on the object without analyzing the object. Yeah? Vipassana is analyzing the object. Shamatha is just to train the mind. It moves away, very gently, you bring it back. It moves away, very gently, you bring it back. It's very simple. That's why it's so boring, because it's so simple, because our mind wants to, figure out things and do complicated things and all that. But if you don't do it, it doesn't work. This is why people earn so much money with it, because people read all these books, but then they don't sit down and they don't do it. So then, of course, they go, my practice doesn't work, because they don't do it. Yeah. So like this. So when you know why you sit and meditate, I go for refuge. Going for refuge means I trust these teachings of the Buddha. So you who are here the first time, you can't say that. Because how can you trust the teaching that you don't know? Just because it's the Buddha? That would be blind faith, and we definitely don't want that. But also then when we hear, you shouldn't have blind faith, then we think we're hearing you shouldn't believe anything. It's not like that, yeah? But to listen, to think about this, to explore it out there, maybe to apply these methods, to use your logic and to compare. And then when we start to apply these things, or after having studied them, then we can say, yeah, I trust these methods. Don't we? But it's not so complicated, that the Buddha says there is suffering, there is unwanted things happening in everybody's life. Is that true or not? That if he would have a choice, there's many things we would choose to be like this. Is that true or not? Okay. Then he talks about the causes, and he says the causes like greed, desire, attachment, aversion, aggression, hate, and wrong views. Do we think that's true? That this chaos and this darkness that we have at the moment in the world is in a mess. I mean, we're a small island here, very small island, and Switzerland is even a better island than you have. But you're also on an island because you have all these protections around you. I mean, our life is incredibly good, compared to most of the population on this planet, and we don't notice it because we think everybody's living the same life. So we can see that, even though we are on this little island, and if a refugee from somewhere who had to cross the Mediterranean and is not wanted anywhere, and they see our lives, so that they think, like, my gosh, they should be happy ever after because they have everything that I want. Are we happy ever after? No. Because it's not the conditions outside. The conditions can be a help to feel happy, but definitely not the cause. Yeah? So when you say I trust the teachings of the teachings of the Buddha say we all have this yearning for lasting well-being and happiness. We all have it. Is that true? Okay. And he says you can only attain to be able to live it constantly by practicing love, compassion, and the wisdom how things exist. The wisdom what brings happiness, and the wisdom what brings suffering. Do you think that's true? Or do we think that we can create a good world with aggression, greed, attachment, desire, violence, stopping people who are violent, stopping them with violence, and they will become better people? Do you think we can attain a better world like this? No. But we're still going in that direction. Even in our private world, we get angry at the people who don't do what we want them to do. Even if we don't express it anymore, but the heart is closed. Yeah. So we see this habit of, yes, I have to fight for this. And with aggression if it needs to, because I have a right to do that, this kind of this self-righteousness, I have a right to be. You have the right to be happy, but you need to apply the right methods. So when you say I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly, basically, at least intellectually, you start to agree with that. I can only be happy, and also other people around me, if I start to work skillfully with my negative emotions, and I start to decrease them, and I start to kind of nourish and increase love, compassion, and the wisdom to see how things exist. Meaning, you accept it. Yeah. So what I just gave you was the methods. Decreasing your negative emotions and increasing love, compassion, wisdom. So that is nothing exclusively Buddhist. I mean, it's many, many other religions, agnostics, atheist people have this attitude, have this wish. I'm not saying. It's only because we have been kind of programmed in a different way over all these previous rebirths that takes a long time. We would have one delete button, which is understanding emptiness directly. That is the ultimate delete button, and then we can program new program. But we are so much in a default mode, which is like, it always goes back, it always goes back. But then the procedural kind of memory, when we feed it again and again and again with these thoughts, but I want to be compassionate. I want to be loving. I don't want to be angry. But not, again, it's so dangerous to say these things. Because when I say these things, then you get angry, then you get angry at yourself for being angry. Okay? If you say, I don't want to be an angry person, when you feel that you're getting angry, this is where the self-compassion comes in. Yeah? To go, okay, I go angry. Now, what would self-compassion, or I would call this wisdom, or logic, what would it say when you go, I got angry again? What would the wisdom behind, or the self-compassion, or whatever you want to call it, say?
It's okay.
Huh?
It's okay to get angry and just keep on. Like everything is changing all the time. I didn't kill anyone. I'm trying to.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't
strong.
want to get angry. Just that one. I had no choice. I did not. It wasn't my motivation to get angry, but because of the habits, and don't even call them my habits, because already just the habit, you take out a lot of strength of them. When you say, because of these habits I still have, I got angry again. Let me try again next time. Finish. You let go. If you need to apologize, you go apologize. You need to amend, you amend. But don't let it kind of eat into you how bad you are, and by repeating it again and again and again and again. You're very good at that, not letting go. Yeah. But by letting go, and this is also from Antonio, it is so meaningful what he said. Letting go has two words. Let, then it can go. If you wanted to throw out, it will not go, because you're not leaving it alone. And if you're not leaving it alone, this, then it will, and you're trying to do something about it, you make it very real and very solid, and it cannot show you the face of its nature, which is impermanence. If you're not feeding into it with thoughts how bad you are, it will disappear. It will disappear. I don't know if it's even for clinically depressed people, if it's possible to hold their very heavy depression 24 hours a day. Not even for them. You're not able to hold anger 24 hours a day. It's impossible. You need to feed it. You need to think about it again and again and again. You're not thinking about the situation. Your anger will disappear. All these negative emotions, we have a seed, we have a tendency, but then also they need a condition from outside. And since we're talking about anger, if you have a problem with anger and think, I got angry again, then make the step out of anger by seeing what needs did not get fulfilled. So I taught this person the other day. She said, I know what need did not get fulfilled. I said, are you angry now? She says, no. I said, it's not now you need to look. It's when you're angry you need to look. At that moment. Not so that you know your needs. It's so that we have something to make the step out of it. We need something. It can also be something different. But this is self-compassion, without calling it self-compassion. When you see what's happening, and you go and explore, and then you are in the exploring mind, and then you take care of yourself. Not by staying in the angry mind and then, kind of creating more, making the tendency stronger. So if you want to call this self-compassion, that's fine. And then also when we start to look the needs that they not get fulfilled, what happens very quickly? When you say, I got angry, what needs did not get fulfilled? I can see that you're doing this very often, eh?
My needs.
Huh?
Expectations or something with my needs.
Yeah, well, then we start laughing because we see how selfish we are. We have all these needs, Somebody looked at me in the wrong way. Oh, they didn't look at me in the right way. Then you go, because then you're in your logical mind that says, hey, come on, they didn't hurt you, they didn't hit you, they didn't kill you. What are you making a big fuss about just words, for example? Yeah? Yeah. So then we start to be logical and not emotional when you start to look what needs did not get for him. And then we start to see, I have all these needs, man, I'm such a nutnik. You know? And then we stop criticizing other nutniks by saying, I'm exactly the same. Maybe I don't say it, but I have it. Yeah? And then we start to work. You become your own therapist, basically. Then you start to work with this in a very, very skillful way. Yeah? And then we see, hey, everybody else has the same needs. How about I start to fulfill the needs of others? And then I tell you, if you try to fulfill the needs of others, the same needs that I also have, being respected, being appreciated, not being yelled at, blah, blah, and you do it with others, and it's almost like magic. The world changes immediately. Your world, your inner world, your inner attitude, your inner state, you become so much more spacious. Not obsessively, oh, what are your needs for me? Will you please write it down? Send me a list so I can fulfill your needs. No, look at your own needs. Like, I don't have a need that I need grandchildren. So, I don't need to fulfill the need of somebody else to give me grandchildren. I'm talking about very basic needs, human needs of being appreciated, being respected. This is what I'm talking about. Not the material needs, but the needs how we want to be treated. And then if you start to treat others like this, then your life changes. God is looking at me in a very skeptical way. Try that. But this one step, when you get angry, what needs did not get fulfilled? This is so skillful. Because your anger is finished immediately. Because why? Because you are in your self-compassion mode. Looking after yourself in a calm and quiet way. Then we start to see how exaggerated these needs are. Okay, they didn't respect me. So what? Am I respecting everybody else? No, I don't. So why should everybody respect me? Again, the expectations and the standards for others. So high. Yeah? And then what I do with others is so low. Because I always have a good reason not to respect them. And I'm always right. My anger is always righteous. Every anger is righteous, by the way. Every anger thinks that I am right. There's no anger who is angry and says, actually I'm angry, but actually I'm not. There's no anger that exists like this. Every anger thinks that it's justified and it's right. And this, you're angry, the other person's angry. So, we're all the same. So then we trust the Buddha's teachings, and then it goes by the accumulation of practicing generosity and so forth. So forth is the other 6 perfections, or the other 5 perfections. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. So that is taking refuge and generating bodhicitta. So then you sit down and do your meditation. Now if you have mindfulness that this is what you said at the beginning of your meditation, whatever happens in your meditation, it doesn't matter. All you have to do is bring the mind back to the object, and bring it back to the object, and bring it back to the object. So mindfulness is not just the mindfulness of what's going on in the mind. The mindfulness is the memory of what I want, where I want to go. So this works very well for a Buddhist. Now, for a non-Buddhist, I don't know what you do as a beginning motivation of your meditation. Usually people just plonk down on the cushion and then they start meditating. It's so stressed, always, before you start something. Check, why am I doing this? What do I want to attain? What do I want to achieve? Because then you have much less chance to kind of get distracted in other things. You still get distracted, because that's how we are, but much less chance. Then the next one, that one does before one does the meditation or study or whatever, is page 11. You open up your heart. All sentient beings have happiness, and the causes of happiness, yeah? It's like loving kindness. And all sentient beings. So you need to think all sentient beings. That means you need to make the mind very, very, very spacious. And the more you expand your mind, the more relaxed it becomes. The more it is just concentrated on, I want this, then it's very tense and very close and very narrow. Yeah? The we think, wouldn't it be wonderful if all sentient beings had happiness and cause of happiness? Then, of course, the ego comes in again, but they're not. But it's not the point here. The point here is that we wanted to be happy, that we see this as a wonderful thing. On the cushion, when nobody's present to get on our nerves. This is how we train the mind. So then maybe when we go out, maybe we still remember, I wanted to make them happy. And then we're not like looking like a half Buddha on the cushion, and the moment we go out and somebody is standing in our parking space and we go like, we say, okay, he's in my parking space. Let me see if there's another parking space. Yeah. Why do I have a car? Why don't I take the bus? Wouldn't it be much easier to take the bus? You know, we start to with these kind of, then I don't have to get upset about somebody taking my car. But yeah, I mean, we start to look at our reactions. Our reactions become different. Now, you have every right, because it's your parking space, even as a Mahayana Bodhisattva Buddhist, when you know who is standing there, to go and tell them very gently, excuse me, you are standing in my space. And if he doesn't leave, you call the police. If there is a sign there that he's not allowed to park there. Even Bodhisattvas can do these things. So then the conflict doesn't escalate. Oof, Tel Aviv and cars. I don't know how it's Jerusalem, but Tel Aviv is like, wow.
Jerusalem is very violent.
Huh?
Jerusalem is more violent in traffic than Tel Aviv. Wow.
We're not in a competition here.
So it's not a bodhisattva.
It's difficult, okay? So then, you know, maybe think, do I really need a car? Some people tell me they don't take the car because they have found the parking space and they actually leave it there. It's like it's a lot of suffering. Then may all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. We nourish our compassion. And we reaffirm to ourselves, all sentient beings, you know, all. We go like, everybody, but not this one. Then usually, yeah, only the kind people should be free from suffering. Only the victims should be free from suffering. No, also the aggressors should be free from suffering, because they will become the victims in the future. May all sentient beings never be separated from happiness that is free from suffering. So we talk about, you know, we think that everybody has Buddha nature. May they all discover it. May they all discover their potential to become enlightened. So there's joy in there. Even the worst person has Buddha nature. Isn't that wonderful? So we don't know it. Of course we don't know it. But we can start to trust it. Because then we start to look for it instead of just seeing the negative stuff. Yeah? I think this Buddhist view that everybody at the base is good, I think is wonderful. It's really wonderful. You know? And if people start to believe in it, they become good people. It's so simple, you know. It's so simple. And then the last one is may all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends and hatred for enemies. So this is what is called the four immeasurables. So this is also preparing the ground for bodhicitta, because bodhicitta is always all sentient beings. You exclude one, you can't call it bodhicitta. But it's only in the mind, it's only in the head. Don't worry, even you get still angry at somebody, just leave them alone. Don't let your mind be glued to them, you know, and think what they've done to you and it's terrible and all this. Just whenever you feel the mind going there, just take it away, because the more you let the mind stay there, the more you kind of hype up your whatever the desire, anger, aggression, whatsoever. The very thing that you want to be free from. By these habits we nourish it again and again and again and again. Yeah. So we're not stupid, we're just habitual people, and we're attached to these emotions. This is the thing. Yeah, so this is why all sentient beings. So it's very theoretical at the beginning, but it's okay. And we do meditations on, you know, equalizing friend, enemy, stranger, like all these kinds of things. Okay? Then the mandala, maybe we leave here, and so then you go to page 16. which is then his